Alright guys, a little quick video walk around my 99 Saturn SWP. But before I get started on that, I do want to say that after a year of ownership of my Honda Beat, I finally got the plastic plate that I wanted to. So without further ado, let's get the tour on the road. Yeah, the car is a little bit dirty, as you can see. I wanted to go to the car wash, but the car wash was packed. It was snowing the past week, so I just made do with what I have, with the time I have. I got this Saturn from a guy in Colorado. It was my second time I saw it on sale. First time it was for sale, it was for 1,500 USD. And I didn't buy it because I didn't have money for it, and someone else bought the car instead. So then a year later, I saw the car for sale again, but this time for 2,800. So when I met the guy, he said that he had to fix the transmission, replace it or something, and fix a couple stuff. But even still, it was still giving issues. So I went ahead and bought it anyways. It's just because one is a right-hand drive, 2 because it's a right-hand drive Saturn, and 3 is a wagon, and I'm a big wagon person. So the story with the Saturn is they only made about 400 or so, more or less, in right-hand drive. Now they did export them to Japan, but no one in Japan bought them because the Japanese people thought of American car as unreliable and crappy, get the worst gas mileage. So it was only sold in Japan for a few years before they took it out, and it's a rare sight to see. Now this particular car, it was used as a rural postal service. So someone who bought it, they went out and delivered packages as a subcontract for USPS. Now, speaking of USPS, this was going to be a replacement for the LLV, the post office use, but that never happened because they lost the contract. So now, I guess they lost the contract to Dodge, because I see Caravan and not Saturns. Now, onto the front of the car. This is a 1.9 single overhead, making about 100 or so power or ponies. I didn't look it up because nothing particularly special, so not going to win any races or anything. You got the normal stuff: AC, reservoir, radiator, and AC radiator, battery, air filter. Nothing special like I mentioned. But here is a quirk to this car. A lot of cars, they have brake booster to the side where the steering wheel is at, but because the steering wheel is a left-hand drive, the boosters on the left side or right side. So it's weird how they got it set up. So it's like any other wagon. You can even set the seats down. Not going to, but there's a sample of what you can do with it, which is cool. And then right here, this copy right here. Let's open it up. What do we have here? Oh wow, it's a window reservoir. Most cars, they have a line going from the front of the reservoir to the window, and then to the back window. But here, they added an extra reservoir just for the back side. Another cool part of the tailgate or the hatch is you got somewhere to hold on to so that you can close the hatch. Okay, so opening the door is just like any other car. The interior is just like any other car, except it's just a right-hand drive. Nothing too special, no luxurious features or anything. The interior of the car is roundish. It's not the prettiest looking interior that I ever seen. I wish it was better looking than this. This radio, this was the original radio that it came with. It had a little cubby on the bottom where you can store stuff. But I got this because it had some extra features, like to change the sound of the song or the music or whatever you call it. Just play with this. So that's an extra feature that I want to have, I guess. The climate control to change the direction of flow, it does not work. It's preset to all window and vents and the floor. Good thing is the hot and cold work, so that's a plus. Here is the interior light for the cluster, to turn off or to make it bright. Simple stuff. Another weird thing about this car is I don't know what Saturn was thinking, but let me show you. Alright, so I just have the car on accessories, and normally on right-hand drive cars, your turn signal is over here and your wiper is here. But as you can see, your turn signal is here and the wiper is over here. The reason why right-hand drive cars are turn signal wiper is because you're shifting with your left and you're going to use the turn signal with your right. But because Saturn has a left-hand drive setup, you're shifting with your left and you're turning with your left. If you have a fast-speed manual swap, this will be difficult sometimes, but because it's automatic, it's no big deal. A lot of the base model car at the time, back in the 80s, 90s, they don't have a center console to rest your arm. It's normally just like this. So in order to, some cars have a center console to rest your arm, but in order to do that, you have to replace the whole piece. But Saturn, they thought something cool, which is the first time I see any car manufacturer done, and this is to add it right on the spot. It holds, it does need screws to be attached, but it holds just fine. It's not going anywhere, so that's a plus. The downside is where this added console is you lose your cup holders. Before I have two in the front and then two in the back. Now I just have two in the front, that's it. But you can store stuff now rather than just the glove box. Right underneath the shifter is your power window feature. Because it's a right-hand drive, this is your automatic window, and then the rest is just a normal window. Because it's an automatic right side window, finding a switch for that would be a difficult find. But I can replace it with a normal left-hand drive window. It's just be a left-hand drive or left-sided automatic window. Now here's another thing what Saturn never thought of. Putting a cigarette lighter right next or right over your cup holder. So now you lose another cup holder. As you can see, I have one and I cannot use that one. In the back, there's nothing really interesting. The only thing that's back in here is this cigarette ashtray. Nothing special. As you can see, it's full of dust or dirt because, like I mentioned, it used to be a postal car out in the east where there's a bunch of dust and dirt out there. The back seat it's actually roomy. I got some leg room here, so in a long road trip it won't be a problem. The only problem is back here. Let me bring up the camera. No headrest. So if we were to get a crash, say goodbye to your neck. One thing I noticed when I was driving one day is most cars have usually 3 handles, to grab onto. But the thing that I noticed is it's missing on that side. The reason why it's missing a grab handle on that side is because when they was making a right-hand drive version, they never thought to put a grab handle on this side. So instead they just left the grab handle on here on the right side. So when I got the car, the power steering was leaking all over the place. So I decided not to put any fluid because it's going to leak all over my driveway. Turns out the reason why it was leaking is because the parts, the boot or sleeve is so worn, it needs to be replaced. The problem is because it's a right-hand drive, they only made a limited amount of this car and only for a few years. So finding a racking pinion for this car is extremely difficult. So right now I have either an option of waiting for someone to junk their Saturn, a right-hand drive Saturn, which again is also rare, or 2, finding someone who is willing to rebuild my racking pinion, but that's gonna be way too much money. So you're wondering, how does this car drive compared to other cars I have? It drives really well, it handles well, it's like any other front-wheel drive car. To me, it feels like another Japanese car for some reason. I guess because I'm driving on the right side. The suspension is soft. It's not stiff like my right-hand drive Honda. So it's comfortable driving on long road distance. Driving back and forth to work is also awesome too. Is there any cool factor with this car? Not really. Driving around town, on the highway, wherever, no one notices this car. Only people that notice the car is the car guys or petrol heads. And even some petrol heads or car guys, they don't even notice it unless you stop right next to them. Only 3 wagons, a Honda Accord wagon, and a Impreza Outback Sport wagon, and this Saturn wagon. This wagon is far the most unique and it's pretty much fun just driving around town and getting that head turn when they do look. But it's not my favorite wagon. I would say my favorite wagon so far of those 3 maybe the Accord wagon because it's just more smoother and it has a little more power to it to get up to speed, and it's I guess more reliable because right now this car still does have some issues. And And so that was the tour of my Saturn. Is it the most funnest car that I ever owned? Not really. I would say my Honda, my right-hand drive Honda is the most funnest. But it is pretty cool driving this car around. It got some features and quirks that's unique to it that I've never seen before. So